Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.
Coming out today, working on the Monte. I'm sure you guys can see him sitting there. The hood latches. So I just watched a few videos. I pretty much get the concept of them on how I'm gonna have to install them. It's just me. I only want to cut once, so I'm really gonna have to triple check, make sure everything's marked right. I thought I was gonna have to readjust everything, but I was looking. Pretty much the center of the car. The hood is centered, so we're good there. The line's pretty much straight up with the antenna in the middle of the windshield, which on the Monte shouldn't be there. It has the antenna on the fender, but it's the same as the Elcos, but it's no biggie. It's on there. I'm not replacing it again, so the hood's centered, so we're good there. What was throwing me off, the doors need to be adjusted. So that's why it's throwing me off. The doors are off a little bit, but it's no biggie. I could adjust those down the line, but I haven't done any measurements, any cutting or anything yet. Those are just mocked up on kind of how I'm planning on having them. To me, that's the only spot that looks good. If you did them over here in the middle, nowhere, I don't think so. Kind of look out of place, but if you get them, follow that body line, I think we should be good. I hope. Sad. Thought about a little bit closer, but then again, that looks out of place. So, reason I'm thinking there, I'll show you guys here in a second. They're the arrow catch ones, so they're locking and everything. 120, 4100. So I've seen other ones. I watched a few videos, and they actually have like the actual template that was the actual size, and you just use that template to cut everything. This one's not to scale, but it gives you the measurements you need. So eventually I'll probably use that to trace where I need to cut. For that, slide right in. So we'll go over that later. But the reason I had it marked where I did on the hood was because I found an existing hole. So I'll use both of those. I believe they're pretty much identical on both sides from what it looks like. So I'll use those, and eventually I might have to cut down this rubber piece here on both sides, but I'm not sure yet. I won't know until I start cutting everything, but I want to triple check all the measurements, make sure everything's right before I make the first cut. So that's kind of where it lines up. Yeah, right about here. So first thing I'll do, well, make sure I have all the drill bits and everything. It might be a 2-day process. I might start it now and then finish it up tomorrow with all the actual cutting and everything. Got some tape, some Sharpies. I need to get something to be able to make a mark on the top of the hood. A lot of people use like toothpaste or something. But yeah, it might be a little bit difficult to see, but just to be able to see it. So you just put a little toothpaste on the top, close the hood, and that's going to give you your marks on the hood where you're going to drill a hole, pretty much a pilot hole, to see where the latches or strikers are going to line up. And Hopefully it's right. Well, let me get one of the latches. What I'm thinking, I think it's going to be enough to line up where it's just on that body line. So if I can line it up like that, we'll be good. But you got to keep in mind that the hood latch is pretty much centered, or where you're going to have to line it up right with that striker. So if I have to angle it a little bit, no problem. But if I could keep it just following that body line, that would be ideal. If it's over this way a little bit, which it shouldn't be that much, no problem. The only thing I don't want it is to be hanging over that body line, because if this is sitting flush on there, it's gonna hang over and look a little off. So if I could get it, just follow that body line, which, looking at it now, it's probably going to be in just a little bit. I'm not sure if you guys can see the striker in there or not. So just right at the edge of the finger. So it'll probably sit in there a little bit. Same thing with this side. Alright, it'll be pretty close. Like I said, that's just off. So what I'll do, depending on how close the hole is, I'll just angle the latch itself to follow that body line. And let's see. Once it's angled on there, I'd always angle these how I need to. So rotate those, comes the hardware, and just bolt everything down. So that's the plan. I know most of the ones I see, or most of the videos I see with them installing this, is like on an aftermarket hood or carbon fiber, and they usually don't have the extra metal on the inside. So I will have to cut both sides. I'll start with the pilot hole on the top side, mark everything that way, get everything drilled and cut out, and then I'll come up underneath and cut out what I need to do out of all this extra bracing. The hood's still going to be plenty, or it's going to hold its strength, so cutting 2 holes in it's not going to be too much or too big of a deal. I thought about moving it up a little bit to use these holes, but like I said, it'll offset it too much, or probably put it right inside of here, which to me, that looks a little off. Let's see. So it'd either be one right about there, or one somewhere right there. Which I'm like, to me, this looks better than that, especially if I get it right up against the hood line. So yeah, that's what I'm planning. Alright, so I'm going to start off by saying I don't have my drill, just using an impact driver. But it worked. It got them somewhat close. You can see the strikers on both sides. And to open that up a little bit more, so I think I might just come over and get the cutoff wheel, make a little cut in that. Would have tried to use a step bit, but it doesn't fit in the impact for some reason. And then a bigger drill bit would have been nice too, but that's not fitting in the impact. So yeah, my drill is at a secondary location. Got two impact drivers, impact, and two impacts, yeah, but no drill. So that would have made the job a lot easier, but I can see where I'm at and get some measurements from there. Alright, so a little quick update. Called it a day last night because I didn't have the right tools, so instead of butchering it up even more, I was like, let me hold off and get the correct tools. So picked up the Dremel from my neighbor, but I got some extra bits and some cutoff wheels, so we'll be using that. I got some jigsaw blades, and then I thought I had them traced out pretty close, but then I went to go measure the distance from the edge of the hood to the center of here on both sides. I think this one's a little bit lower than that side, so I want to get this side up a little bit. Just try to get them as even as I can. Alright, so it might look like a mess now. Just try to cover up more of the hood so all the scrap pieces and stuff when I cut aren't going to scratch up the hood. But I think I have it pretty much narrowed down to where it's going to go. Might be a little tough to pick up on camera, but I did. I know this comes with the templates on exactly where the hole and everything should be, but I really didn't use it. I cut the holes, figured out where they're going to stick through, pretty much put the latch on there, held that down, and traced it out. So once this is all cut out, I could adjust that a little bit, but it's going to be cut out where it is. It's about right at 1/2 inch from that hood line on both sides. No, it probably doesn't look like it with the tape on it, but the line's right there. So 1/2 inch in, and from the bottom of the hood here to the bottom of the latch, it's right at about 7 inches. So yeah, so we should be good there. And I have additional lines on there because I measured from the bottom corner on up and just put marks at each inch up to about 1 foot, and then I ran my little tape measure all the way across and just drew lines on where the hood latches are going to be, just to make sure it's even on both sides. And I think we're right on at 7 inches, so we're good there. The only thing left is pretty much start cutting. Alright, so top layer is on, or out. Pretty decent cuts with the Dremel and the cutoff wheels. So like I said, around the corners I could have got the jigsaw, but instead I just made small cuts with the Dremel, and then pretty much made straight cuts and then went diagonal on them, and that opens up the circle. So that's how I did those, but the top layer is out. It's pretty decent thickness, and you can see the inside is cut. What's up high, of course, what's low, I couldn't get to it. So what I'm gonna do, open up the hood. Well, no, I might drill some pilot holes just straight down, kind of trace out where I need to cut out, and the bottom's going to need a little bit larger opening because it's going to have to slide up under this. It's going to have to slide under the top layer, so that means I'm gonna have to open up underneath the pretty much the outside of this trim piece. Might be a nice neighborhood, but I stay ready. I stay ready. So I don't know if he ran over something or what, but I was like, huh? I hope so. I was like, huh? I got you.
It didn't sound like it.
I don't know if he ran over a rock or something or what.
Oh, there's a water bottle right here.
That could have been it. Yeah. I had your back. Alright, so what was I saying? Got the top cut out. I'm drill some pilot holes. Try to stay away from, I guess, the inside holes for this really don't matter. So I'm gonna just use those, put this up against it, and trace out what I need from there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I did drill all the way through, broke a couple drill bits. So I'll use those holes as a template, line up the holes on this bracket, line them up, trace around it, and cut out what I don't need up underneath. Probably take the file on the Dremel, clean up these edges, smooth them out, take some touch-up paint, touch up all the bare metal spots, and then put the hood latches in. Getting close. Alright, so the time lapse just ended right when I figured out this fits now. So it's not the prettiest, but it will fit in there, line up with everything, and it should be good to go. So now, time to do the other side, and it's my alignment screw. Remember I was talking about breaking off drill bits, that was just sticking on there, so pretty much slid that through and use that for my template. But yeah, one side's cut out. Took a little bit longer than I thought it would have, but we're good there. And just found out the show that I'm supposed to be getting this ready for, Lincoln Tech Car Show, is postponed due to weather, so won't be for a few more months. But yeah, I can still keep making progress on it. Need to clean up this little, I don't know if that's adhesive or what, but just clean that up so it'll fit flush. I will go through with the little grinder and clean up all the edges, make them nice and smooth. But yeah, so just gotta keep in mind you don't want to cut through the hood from the bottom. So most of it, it's like a second skin. So whatever you're cutting off this side, just know when it dips down, you want to be careful and not cut too far. Pretty much just these two low spots here, but it's thick enough where it's just a second skin pretty much. Just keep that in mind. So on this side it'll be the same thing, these little low spots here. Just be aware of where you're cutting. Then obviously the high spots, you should have no problem. But yeah, let me put this down. I won't throw it on time lapse for the second one. You guys saw enough on the first one. But yeah, this little Dremel, definitely putting it to work. It's a little quick detach, cut off wheels. I'm glad I grabbed the 12 pack and not just the 5, because I think I'm on number 4 now. So I guess 5 would have worked, but Better safe than sorry. Have some extras just in case. And where'd it go? So comes with all these other attachments. So like these little discs in here. That's probably what I'll use to clean up the edges. And then, just like I said, throw some touch-up paint on it and get everything installed. But with this cut out now, let's see, where do I have them? I know it's a mess. It's always a mess in here, but whoo, like I said, it's close. So clean up the edges a little bit and put this down in there, and we should be good. But yeah, let me stop talking, put the camera down, and knock them out. All right, both sides are cut out. The plate fits in there nicely. Next thing is to just clean up all the edges. So I'll start with the underside of the hood, since the hood's already popped, and then I'll come up and clean up all these. Once I clean all these up, it should be enough clearance for the latch to fit in. Like I said, I know it's tight in some areas, which is good, but yeah, just clearance it a little bit and we should be good to go. So just changed out the bit for that. So here we go. All right, so messed up just a little bit. These are sanding just a tad too far back. I should have moved them up like that much. So what I'm about to do next is get the spring for the hood. So what I'm going to do next is probably either open this up a tad, or I've seen it where people bend these back slightly. I could bend it, or just get a spacer or washer up front and angle it back just slightly. So that'll probably be the easiest thing to do. Just like I said, just needs a little bit. So yeah, or if I do need to move it back, I'd probably have to cut this out and weld a little bracket on, which I don't want to do right now, but if it comes down to it, I can just weld it back there and call it good. So probably a little square piece and get that to line up where it should. But for now, I'm gonna call it a day. Show you guys what they look like on there. So look pretty good. Breaks up the hood a little bit, but I think I have to grow on me. What do you think? Think they look good?
You should put a washer in there.
Put a washer in there. Let's talk about the actual look of them. They look out of place?
The placement of them?
Yeah.
No.
Nah. I've seen some people that just put them like here, but I wanted them to kind of follow that body line.
Give it nostrils.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll figure it out. Alright, so been doing a little thinking, looking at some pictures and everything. I was kind of second guessing myself on the placement of the latches, which they're staying. I'm not cutting up another hood. If I do buy another hood, it's gonna be a cow hood, but I kind of like the slick hood look. Like I said, I told you guys why I put them here versus like just here, which they don't look bad. Just here, it's just like, this seems kind of off. Kind of wanted to go with that hood line. So I like it here. Been looking at some other pictures and reading up on some posts on like Classic G-Body Garage and stuff about hood pins, and I like them there. Let me know what you guys think. I know most people do them on the outside. That's kind of what I was thinking about. I was like, maybe I could have did it on this side and followed the hood line too, but kind of digging it. I know a lot of people, they put them on the outside because when they're doing, you know, the speed limit, the corners come up a little bit, but that's usually on aftermarket hoods like the fiberglass ones and everything. This one's it's still a steel hood, so shouldn't have to worry about that too much. And I kind of went over the plans with the new holes and everything on here. So what I'm thinking, yeah, still got some scrap pieces, so obviously won't use this whole thing. It'd be a small piece, but just to weld a little extension there, probably a little square piece. If I wanted to get fancy, I could probably try to angle it off or do something, hide some of these wires, but I think just tack a mount to it, run the striker through it. So it'll probably be right about there. So I didn't want to just cut this off and sandwich it in there somehow, so that's what I'm planning on, putting another bracket there. But I'm kind of getting a little sidetracked, so we'll be adding that piece to it. Like I said, just cut it out, weld it on there. I think a lot of people use outside holes. I don't think they use this one. It might be this outside one here, but something in this area. I think for one on the other side of that body line, it'd have been these holes here, which wouldn't have been bad. It's pretty much identical, but I'll probably come out today, cut these out, get them close, get everything marked where I need to drill another hole, get it welded on. And I think to do that, once I have the plate welded on, I'll just stick the striker straight down through or something, mark it where I need to drill a hole out for, and then drill out for the striker. And that should have it lined up this time, which I'm like, it's not far off, but it's not gonna work with just these two holes. And then if I open that up a little bit or angle it, it's not much here, so yeah, I have no problem just welding on top of here, throwing a few tacks in there. Well, probably a couple more than a few, but you guys get the idea. Shouldn't have to worry about anything in this area messing up. But yeah, I'll put the striker there. Call that good. I know I have a hood spring. Still need to find it. I don't think I gave it away to a buddy. Well, kind of leaning towards that route. I could check that bin there and check this tub. If not, I'm about to order another one, but I'm pretty sure I have one laying around. Gotta triple check. That's going to help out a lot too, so I don't have to keep prying the hood up. So I need to find the spring. And now, like I said, I've been reading up on different posts and everything, and I'm guessing I'll still use the hood latch, so I'll throw this one back on. It just doesn't have the hook like on the Elko or the other ones. So that hook there. There's supposed to be a bracket on like the Monte Carlo SS with the nose and everything. There's a bracket that sits down in here, and that's where that hook latches onto. Obviously have the intercooler here, so not able to use that. That's why I went with the hood latches. So it'll be a process to get the hood off, so I have to do the latches and I have to go inside and pull the hood release, and then I'll release it from here. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on. I don't know. I like it, but at the same time I was like, I could have put them on the outside, but I like them. It's different. I like being a little different. Just need to figure out what I'm doing here. If I can find, I don't know, some type of plate or something, or or put nah, probably not something like on the Camaro, but try to find some type of antenna or something to fill that space. So nothing like that. This needs to come off. Just in a bad spot. Probably not anything like on the truck either. We'll find a plate or something that covers that up and get a small antenna or something like on the PT. But yeah, let me keep looking for that hood spring. I'll get this stuff welded on, painted, and get the latches actually functional instead of just looking good on the outside right now. But yeah, even when using that latch, it's just another added layer of security. So if I forgot to lock them, you couldn't just come up and pop the hood. You still have to be able to get inside, hit the hood release, and then get the hood up. So yeah, let me stop talking and start messing around here for a little bit. Finished product yet. I'm gonna let these things cool down for a little bit and then put some paint on it. That one probably could be just a little bit more. Yeah. So yeah, but you see they both were latched. We need that spring in here. But you probably call it overkill, but these things aren't going anywhere. They're pretty solid. Not my ugly welds, but not the best, but they're getting better. I said I still have to wait for it to cool down a little bit. I'll take these off. I think, like I said, this one needs to be adjusted a little bit. Just a little bit. And then get these tightened down all the way, but they're good to go. Once everything's painted, I'll reattach or probably tuck those behind and secure these wires again. Same thing on the other side. I'll secure those. Need to eventually shut it all the way, make sure this latch works, but that shouldn't be a big problem. But I do need that hood pop spring. But yeah, time. Like I said, once they're tightened up all the way and adjusted to the right height, should have no problem latching. Same thing with this side. Well, once it's adjusted, I think that this one needs to come up a little bit. So yeah, gonna let it cool down for a little bit, run inside, eat, and then probably about, I don't know, 30 minutes, come out, put a couple coats of primer on it, a couple coats of paint, and we should be good. But should have been a lot easier to install, but it's one of those things like you have to measure again, and I was only off by, like I said, probably 1/4 inch, maybe. Not even that. I'd say probably 1/8 inch. I was off. But yeah, I did have to cut the core support a little bit for the room for the nut on the bottom. So I had to open up, like I said, the hole I was trying to use, which was over here. Pretty much had to V-notch that, open that up a little bit to get the nut on the bottom to fit. And then round it off the edges a little bit. It's not too perfect, but it's not going to be a sharp corner, or if you stick your hand down in there to adjust the boost controller or something, worry about cutting yourself. So actually not too hot, but yeah, I try to get welds all the way around as much as I could. Like I said, eventually I'm gonna get a lot better at this thing. I do need another bottle of gas. I know Ravi, he wants some exhaust work done on a couple of his cars. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, run inside, eat, come back out, throw some paint on here, and depending on how I feel, might tear the garage apart, but you guys know how it looks all the time. Organize a little bit and then tear into those boxes and try to find that spring. Hopefully I didn't throw it away, which I don't think I threw it away. I think I gave it to a buddy, so I have to look for that. If not, order another one, or yeah, I'll order another one instead of trying to find something in the junkyard. But might get lucky and find it. But yeah, you guys see how it's coming along. Going there, dead on. Like I said, a little tweaking here and there. Once they get tightened up all the way, they'll straighten up and have no problems. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, that one definitely needs to be adjusted. Bigger project than it needed to be, but we're getting there. But I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna cut the camera off. Alright, so it's been a few days. Forgot where I left off on it, but I think the hood and everything is where it needs to be. There's only one problem that I have, and that's because I dropped one of the rubber isolators. This one might be tall enough to cut and use both of them, but I'll show you guys where I dropped it here in a second. And it's going to be a tough one to get a hold of, but you see the hood is latched, not only with the hood latches, but the actual latch on it. So that one's still a little tough. So one might need some adjustment. So like I said, it's kind of a little extra step to get the hood popped. You gotta have the hood latches up, and then you gotta come and pull the latch itself, so that releases the hood. But that's it. I know this part here, this hood latch, I don't think it would hold the hood, or it's a little iffy. Just because that's design. That's why I usually have that other hook here, just in case it did pop up. It would still have something to catch to. Hence why I installed the hood latches, because that support isn't there because of the intercooler. So I needed to add a little bit more reassurance. Most of the G bodies, well, not most of them, the Elko, the Malibu, and not sure everything else is a little different, but they'll usually latch here, or they have that hook that goes in here. Obviously with the nose on here, it's extended out a little bit, so I believe the hood might be a little bit longer, or just in a different location. But that's why they have that mount here, which obviously doesn't work on my application, but I'm digging it. I'm starting to like it. I did just pick this up from the junkyard, so it's not installed all the way. Like I said, it could still push it over a little bit. I'll probably take it off, either paint it or have my buddy powder coat it, which if he sees this, he's gonna be like, hey man, let me powder coat it. If I paint it, he's gonna be a little disappointed. So I'll probably hit him up one of these days, drop it off, and get that powder coated. Most likely black. I know a couple videos ago I was messing with the brakes, so I did order a new one of these. Hopefully it's the right size. I should be here later this week. But yeah, we're good to go. Still need to tighten these down and put the Loctite on them so those don't move around. But like I was talking about the rubber isolator, those will go right about here. Like I said, it's It's close if I were to cut it in half. I think this one needs to come up a little bit. Same thing with this. But it's close because I did drop the other one down in there. So it's going to be a little bit of a pain to get to. Even going through here with like the little claw thing or something. It's just a little tough to get to. So I'm pretty sure if I keep at it, I could fish it out of there. But for now, I might just have to might have to cut that. I'm not trying to, but it might happen. Yeah, that might be a little too much. This one might be good. Let's lift it up slightly. I think the angles are right. That one's good. This one still needs to come up a little bit, but there you have it. I took a few extra steps to get it done, but they're on there. The only way to go back now is if I get a new hood, but I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. Kind of like this sleek hood on it. Even though the ones with the cow hood, they do look good, just like that clean look on there. What do you guys think? Should I put them on the outside? I'm still kind of debating that a little bit. I just don't like when they're just sitting right here in the middle. If I'd have had them probably on the outside of the hood line, might have been a tad bit better. But like I said, it's one of those things, you got to commit to it. If you're going to do it, you're cutting up a, well, I think I paid $150 for this, but trying to find a replacement hood now, probably looking at a few hundred. But yeah, I think it looks good. It breaks it up a little bit. Yeah, so done with this one. I think I might have to repaint the hood on here. You know, kind of use this as a workbench, and right here I left one of the rags. I had brake cleaner on it, so kind of mess that up a little bit. So might be, well, I don't have to. Let's see what that does, but it's just a matte black hood, so I don't mind if I have to repaint it, or cut it out, put some hood latches in it or something, but we'll see. But man, that's a pretty good view. But yeah, that's it for the day. Just want to give you guys a little closure on the hood latches. I know it's going to be a longer video, but I did what works for me. You know, I'm still learning at this stuff, but we're getting there.